This is the story of Earth's oldest tropical rainforest. Of an ancient island, home to giant apes and tiny bears, to plants that kill and jellyfish that farm. Where day length never changes, the sun's strength never wanes, and abundant rainfall provides perfect conditions for life. For the island's breathtaking diversity is born not of bounty, but of extreme adversity. Of an intense struggle for existence that gives rise to bizarre species and extraordinary relationships. This is Borneo, Earth's ancient Eden. Borneo is enormous. More than 740,000 square kilometers of land rise from the waters of Southeast Asia. Today, the island is divided between three countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. But political borders are recent. The forest is not. For millions of years, geological forces have been reshaping this island. Mountains rose, seas advanced and retreated. Rivers carved valleys through ancient rock, and forests expanded, contracted, and evolved with them. Borneo sits at the center of one of the world's great tropical regions, and its isolation has been crucial. Mountains, rivers, changing coastlines, and periods of lower sea level repeatedly separated populations of plants and animals. Over immense periods of time, isolated populations begin taking different evolutionary paths. The result is a forest where two valleys can contain species found nowhere else on Earth. And nowhere is this more obvious than in the trees. In some Bornean rainforests, hundreds of tree species can occur within a remarkably small area. At Lambir Hills in Sarawak, researchers have documented more than 1,000 tree species within less than 1 square kilometer. For comparison, that is roughly twice the number of tree species found across the whole of Europe. Borneo is not simply a forest. It is a biological experiment that has been running for millions of years. Look closely at a Bornean rainforest and something becomes obvious. There is almost no wasted space. Life occupies every level. At the forest floor, fungi and microorganisms break down fallen leaves. Above them, insects move through the undergrowth. Shrubs compete for the scattered sunlight. Vines climb. Ferns spread. Young trees wait for an opportunity. And far above the ground, a vast green ceiling captures sunlight. The canopy. This is where much of the forest's energy is produced. But sunlight is one of the most valuable resources in Borneo, and there is never enough of it. A tree that grows too slowly may remain trapped in darkness. A seedling can spend years waiting for a gap to open in the canopy. Then, suddenly, a giant tree falls. Light floods the forest floor, and thousands of plants compete to exploit the opportunity. The rainforest may look peaceful, but beneath the leaves is a constant competition for light, for water, for minerals, for space, for pollinators, and sometimes for survival itself. High above the ground lives one of Borneo's most remarkable animals, the orangutan. Its name means person of the forest, and watching one move through the canopy, it is easy to understand why. Orangutans spend much of their lives among the trees. They feed on fruit, leaves, bark, insects, and other plant material. Their long arms allow them to move through an environment that would be almost impossible for a human to navigate. But the forest is changing. Orangutans depend on large areas of connected habitat. A forest divided by roads, agriculture, logging, or other development can become a very different place. And this creates a problem that goes beyond losing individual trees. When forest becomes fragmented, populations can become isolated. Animals may lose access to food. They may be unable to move safely between territories, and genetic exchange between populations can decline. For an animal that evolved to live across a continuous forest, fragmentation can be as important as the disappearance of the forest itself. Yet orangutans are not Borneo's only unusual mammal. On the forest floor lives something that seems almost contradictory. A bear, but not the giant bears of northern forests. The sun bear is the smallest member of the world's bear family. It is an agile climber, adapted to tropical forests. Its short black coat, powerful claws, and long tongue help it exploit food hidden inside trees and nests. And on its chest is a distinctive golden or orange marking. A small bear in an enormous forest. Another reminder that evolution does not follow a single design.